Hello, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. First tonight, Block star Darren Jolly like you've never seen him before. Tonight, Darren and wife Deanne speak about the health crisis that rocked their young family. During a celebrated footy career, the father of two was used to hard knocks, but a potentially serious illness needed all of his courage and determination.
I just thought I had a headache, and as normal blokes do, I didn't really pay attention to it. I just took some Panadol and thinking to be okay, and then next thing I knew I was in hospital needing brain surgery.
It's been a trying couple of weeks for Darren and Deanne Jolly. Fresh from filming the latest Block triple threat, the former AFL star and his wife were almost back in a normal routine when Darren discovered something was wrong.
I went to a Bucks weekend up the river with some good friends of mine, and then I think on the Saturday, my left eye just twitched for some reason. I didn't think anything of it, and then it just went watery all of a sudden. And afterwards, I got a headache, and then I just thought it was the alcohol, so I didn't even pay attention to it. I got home on the Sunday, and then I noticed that when I got out of the car and I'd stand up, it was a really sharp pain in the front of my head, and I'm not one to get headaches ever or a migraine or anything, so again, I just didn't think anything of it. I think Monday, Tuesday came around and the headaches just started to be around all day and a lot stronger, and then I decided to go to the doctor on the Wednesday and see what it was, and he just said it was probably your sinus problem. You know, don't worry about it, you're too young to have anything serious in your head. And
he did come home and sort of straight away was very much, look, I don't feel like it's my sinuses. I've never had a sinus problem. I don't have a blocked nose or anything. You were sus on it straight away.
Yeah.
He didn't think it was that.
I went back into the block Thursday morning thinking to do a few bits and pieces, and then I just didn't feel right. I went home. I think I had to sleep at home, and then I thought, bugger it, I'm going to go and book in to have a look. Luckily, I knew the radiologist from footy days, and he had a look for me, and he said, listen, we need to go and have an MRI straight away. There's something there, and we need to know what it is. So I had an MRI pretty much within the next half an hour, and he came to me and said, listen, we need to go and see a specialist. You've got a lump in your brain that we need to get looked at.
Tell me what goes through your mind when you hear words like that. I mean, that's the whole rest of your life you see flashing before your eyes, I would imagine.
Yeah, at that moment I thought, I'm not having an operation on my arm or my leg or anything like that. It's someone is going to drill into my brain and remove this lump.
It was all very quick as well, wasn't it? We had to go straight to the hospital. We'd be met by a neurosurgeon straight away. Pack a bag, you'll be admitted. So it was very sudden.
How did you cope with all of this?
It's not easy at all, but I have to say that looking at Daz and seeing him scared, which never happens, made me want to just be really strong for him, because I think the worst thing that I could be was fall apart and look really terrified when I could see that he was scared. So
sometimes doctors can look at scans and they can get a sense of what a lump is from the shape of it. Sometimes they can get a sense whether it's good or bad. Were you given any comfort at all like that?
No, all that was said to me that I have a lump in the middle of my brain and it's stopping the spinal fluids flowing properly through my brain. It's directly right in the middle of it. It's near my memory,
in a really
tricky spot. So, and then the surgeon said we need to go in there and pretty much drain it. The list of things that could possibly go wrong was a bit of a worry.
What was that list?
Well, loss of memory, death,
paralysis,
seizures.
Seizures, brain function issues. Probably the moment that was really scary for us, wasn't it? Was when we first went to hospital and we were filling in the forms. So we were presented with forms to fill in straight away, and up until that point, everyone had referred to it as a lump or a cyst, hadn't they? And the girl who gave us the form had written in big words brain tumour, and that was the thing that really scared the hell out of us, didn't it?
I turned to Dee and said, did you see that?
The next day, Darren underwent brain surgery. Surgeons made an incision on the left side of his head, where they drilled into his skull to drain the cyst. From the front of his head, they took a biopsy of the tumour, which was the size of a 5-cent piece, to test whether it was benign or malignant. For the Jollies, it was a long, tense wait for that result.
we found out it was just ended up being a cyst. It was nothing dangerous, which was fantastic news for us. I think I rang during the day because I wanted to know, and we found out that night that there was nothing there. It was just benign cyst.
Yeah. We just hugged and just felt so relieved. It's just been, it was a long time to wait.
Can you give us an insight into what you were thinking and talking about during those 5 days? Did you talk about what would happen if things didn't go so well?
No, we didn't at all.
No. I think we were just going to cross that bridge if we got that news. That we were going to then think about what happens next, because I'm only 33 and that was nowhere near on my radar of things that I needed to worry about.
Papi is 1 year old.
What did you say to the kids?
We kept it pretty light with the kids. The girls knew that Daz had a really bad headache for a few days. We just told them that he had a bump on his brain and he had to go and have an operation to get rid of his headache. They were really curious about the staples on his head and his crazy haircut, because he had lots of hair around here before I shaved it off for him. So they were kind of teasing him about that, and that was good for him.
Jolly's onto it, still Jolly.
Had the doctors said to you why this had happened? Because I guess the logical conclusion to draw would be that you copped a few knocks during your footy career and that might have contributed to it.
He said that it's actually quite common that he said there was no relationship whatsoever between this and footy, or this and what we did on the block, or anything like that. It's just a freaky occurrence that it's decided to flare up and become an issue.
So what happens now? Do you have to stay on top of this, or what do you do now?
I think the next few months, I obviously can't go to work because I've got to sit around home and take it easy. I can't drive. I've had the stitches out this morning. I'll go back in and have the staples next week taken out. And then I suppose it's just monitoring.
He has to have MRIs quite regularly for the next little while. The surgeon did say that there's a 50% chance that it'll start growing again. So, we just have to keep an eye on it for the next few years at least, and probably forever.
You actually haven't had a good health run on this season, have you? You were sick earlier on, weren't you?
Yeah. This is my second bout in hospital. I had a bad case of pneumonia.
Same thing. They're really worried about it.
You also had a health, crisis in your first series with your daughter, who had really a worrying sort of series of illnesses, if you like. I mean, you've had a really lousy run as a family, haven't you, with your health? Yeah,
Daz and Lily obviously have had a rough trot. So Lily's all better now, thankfully. But that was pretty hard on Glasshouse dealing with that.
It is going. And it is. So they bid, so it is. Go.
Just remind me, or explain to me, if you would, why, after only coming away with 10 grand after the last series, why you even wanted to do this again.
We love it. We love the level of busyness. We love the interaction with the cast and the crew and all of that. We do feel like we were lucky to be offered another opportunity to have another go and have a happy ending.
And we also wanted to send the message to our daughters that things aren't going to work out in life and things aren't going to go your way, but it's important to pretty much get back on the horse and give it another go.
You're a bogan for one turner and you've got no idea, and I'll outstyle you any day.
And just finally, as a watcher of the block, I mean, I couldn't help but notice the episode last year with you and Shayna. Did you and Shayna ever have a full and frank debrief after that, where you sort of cleared the air on it?
I had no idea I was being filmed in that moment. I knew that episode was coming up before it went to air. I was told about it, so I did ring Shayna at the time and apologise to her, and I made it clear that what I said in that moment was just what I said in that moment. It was just a venting. It was 9 weeks in. I think we'd lost a couple of rooms the last few weeks by half a point because of Shayna's score, and I was venting. I had no idea that I was making a public statement.
So are you fine now, you two?
As far as I'm concerned, we're absolutely fine.
Okay. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so nice to hear you got the good news.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, you'd buy a lotto ticket after that diagnosis, wouldn't you?